Next we come to the accusation that Ebola was heavily involved not only in Italian fascism, but also in National Socialist Germany. But is that true? After the Second World War, Ebola was put on trial for accused involvement with the fascist regime of Italy, but he was acquitted. He was found not guilty because he wasn't even a member of the fascist party. And in fact, he often described himself as an anti-fascist, and in the trial itself he called himself a super-fascist, or super-fascisti, which was a source of great amusement for Ollie in his video doing an impression of a Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. However funny that might be, it's not really understanding the word super in Latin meaning over. So it's like when Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch used to originally be translated literally into English as Superman. Super, Uber, they both mean over. But of course Superman sounded silly because of the comic book character. So you can't have Superman and Super Saiyan and then also philosophical concepts with the word super anymore because people make silly jokes. So super fascist just means above fascism, or not a fascist, basically beyond fascism. Despite initial praise from Mussolini, who actually quite liked Ebola's idea of the race of the soul, he later didn't like Ebola so much, and a lot of other fascist top brass took a disliking to Ebola. Ebola actually had to go into hiding at times and was reputed to have jumped out of a window when authorities came looking for him. So hardly heavily involved with fascism. If anything, he was seen as an enemy at times anyway. What Ebola liked about fascism was its potential for a people to be able to participate in a supernatural order, one based on the principles of hierarchy that are found in ancient traditions. And when fascism failed to deliver that, he didn't like it anymore. He only liked what fascism potentially could become, which was something he wanted, not what fascists wanted. As for National Socialism, he had even less involvement than he did with the fascists. His only interest in National Socialism was in the SS, not in the actual party itself of the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Just the SS, and only the SS, for one reason, because he hoped it might become a transcendent religious order like the chivalrous knight of the Middle Ages. But it didn't, and Ebola was not a big part of National Socialism in any way. He wasn't even involved in any government activities, and he wasn't involved in the SS, which is something he wrote about, and only in the context of its potential. It should be added that the Gestapo had a dossier on Ebola. They were keeping an eye on him. They described him as a danger. They didn't like his ideas. He certainly wasn't welcome in Nazi Germany. So to describe him as heavily involved in German National Socialism is just not true. And although he had some racial theories, they did not correspond with German racial theory at all, and he actually wrote against some of those, and he has also condemned what he described as vulgar anti-Semitism. So once again, just brushing over and calling him heavily involved with National Socialism and fascism is really a distortion of the truth.